Hello there, everyone. Thank you for inviting me to speak today under the topic of food, and most specifically, I shall be talking to you about herbs. During this period of lockdown, I have been looking for something to do, a new hobby to take my mind off coronavirus. And with garden centres now being open, I decided to buy myself some packets of seeds for growing herbs. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about those, some of my own thoughts and some of the research that I've done around them. The four main herbs that I'll be talking to you about are parsley, rosemary, tarragon, and basil. Now, as you may recall from your biology lessons back in school, for germination to take place for seeds, you need water, you need oxygen, you need the right kind of temperature, and possibly the right level of light or darkness. So with all of that in mind, I planted my seeds on the windowsill, and I'm pleased to report that they have in fact germinated, they've sprouted, they've started to grow. And so let's look at each one of these herbs in turn. First one is parsley. Now, the Latin name for parsley is Petroselinum crispum. There are two main types of parsley, the curly parsley, which is quite popular and very familiar, but also flat leaf parsley, which is the type that I chose and the type that I prefer. It has a broader leaf and a stronger flavour. This particular herb is rich in iron and also contains vitamins A, B, and C. It's used for a wide variety of dishes, often used as a garnish, and I think it goes particularly well with garlic in a French accompaniment called a persillade, a mixture of parsley and garlic. Also in an Italian sauce called a gremolata, which is parsley, garlic, and lemon zest. If you look at a little bit of the history of these herbs, parsley is one of the four fines herbes, according to Auguste Escoffier, famous French cook, and he cited the four fines herbes as parsley, chives, tarragon, which I'm going to be talking to you about, and chervil. The next herb I want to talk to you about is rosemary, and this has a kind of short, spiny needle type of leaf, thick, woody stem. It likes to be grown in well-drained soil. I think it goes particularly well with lamb or with pork. And interestingly, it's often extracted into an essential oil, and there's been some scientific research that rosemary oil helps your memory. And one of the things that people like to associate with herbs is the folklore around them, and rosemary is often used as a symbol for remembrance, a plant that represents remembering someone who's passed away, and it's actually cited in Hamlet by Shakespeare in Act IV, Scene 5. Ophelia says, "There's rosemary, that's for remembrance." So even all of those centuries ago, there was a thought that rosemary helps us remember things, and I quite like that idea. Herb number 3 is tarragon. The Latin name for tarragon is Artemisia dracunculus. Lovely name there, difficult to get your tongue round. Two main types, there's a French tarragon and a Russian tarragon. I'm growing the Russian one. It's easier to grow. It has a slightly different flavour to the French one. They say the French one has a better flavour, but as I say, the Russian one's easier to grow. Nonetheless, it's very aromatic, good for salad dressings, goes very well with chicken, and I like to make it into a Béarnaise sauce, where you combine tarragon with shallots, lemon juice, butter, and egg yolks. Not very healthy, but utterly delicious. The last herb I want to talk to you about is basil, known in Latin as Ocimum basilicum. Yes, Basil the herb, not Basil, the famous comedy character from Fawlty Towers, which you may be familiar with. It's a beautiful herb. It's a soft herb with round, delicate leaves. It likes lots of sunshine and lots of water. Grows very, very well in the Mediterranean, and as part of that is a strong element of Italian cuisine. It goes particularly well with tomato dishes and is often put into a sauce called pesto, which I'm sure you've had with pasta. Unusually, basil also goes very well with strawberries, so you might like to think about trying basil and strawberries. So these herbs have been keeping me busy during lockdown. They're great fun to grow, they're good to cook with, but not only being good to eat, they're also good for the soul. It's very therapeutic to grow herbs. Watering something, watching it grow is very relaxing and it gives you a sense of satisfaction. Thank you for listening.